Good morning. The purpose of this video has come on the heels of some social media posts I've seen, some YouTubes, about what has been an extraordinary Christian leader in our country. One of the social media posts used the words fallen and how he has a broken heart for this man of God and how he feels as it were, jaded and hurt. And I read this, and to be frank with you, I became incensed. Friends, over the decades, we have heard all this before. We will hear it again. Throughout the Bible, men and women of God had fallen, had been broken or shipwrecked because of sin or whatever it might be. But when I read this, I couldn't help but think, goodness me, you don't even know personally the man you're talking about. I think it's time we take a step back and realize that there is a human being that we're talking about. I know what it is for people to talk about me. I know what it is to be falsely accused. And I know what it is to walk to my backyard, look up to heaven because of the pressure, because of the pain, and say to God, Lord, I don't even want to live. Friends, I believe we are liable in the courts of heaven and even in the courts of this land for the things we say about others, particularly publicly. I've heard people say, I don't believe in gossip, but I want to talk to you about this. I want to ask you to pray for them. And really what they're doing is gossiping. When you don't know somebody personally, when you do not understand the full dynamic of the situation, I believe we should be wise. We don't need to go announcing publicly on social media that we're going to be praying for this person because, and pull out our violin with our little broken hearts. Sounds a bit rough, doesn't it, me saying that? But the truth is, there is a human being behind your social media post that you're talking about. The Bible gives clear instruction for how the local church should manage and help restore not only Christian leaders, but congregation members. Yeah, everyone is on a level playing field before God. That, oh yes, I understand leaders are held to a higher account, of course. But we should take a step back and realize there is a human being. And if we are going to pray, we don't need to go announcing it. We pray for them. Believe the Lord for them. I would also suggest that we should be wise when we go to address the speck in someone else's eye when there is a plank in our own. Jesus said to love one another. Oh yeah, of course, there is discipline in the house of God. Of course there is. But when we neglect the restoring work of God, we discipline as the Pharisees did. Jesus addressed all of these things, that we should love one another as he loved us, and that nothing should separate us or could even possibly separate us from God's love. How could anything separate us and the love we have for one another? Scandals will come and scandals will go. Gossip will come and unfortunately it tends to stay. As for me and my house, and I pray this upon you, let us all serve the Lord, to be wise to stop pulling out our little violins as if we are so broken-hearted, and possibly some are, about a leader or a congregation member or someone else that has fallen or not fallen, and you wouldn't even have a clue. If you don't know them, you don't know the whole story. Let us be wise. Let us love one another, recognizing the human being. You know what? This is serious. You could be responsible for someone taking their own life. It's pretty serious. I don't think anybody wants to be liable for that. And so what we do on social media these days can damage beyond almost any repair. People in this country and overseas are under a lot of pressure. Congregation members, ministers, teachers, a lot of pressure. Those of us who have an intimate relationship with Jesus Christ understand that his yoke is easy and his burden is light, and to cast our cares upon him, for he cares for us. But there are times, like all of us, we must be mindful that, by the grace of God, go you and I. God bless.